Welcome to your daily 49ers update. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Here's what's happening. As good as Jordan Mason looked on Monday night, we are all wondering when we are going to see the reigning offensive player of the year back on the field. Well, Kyle Shanahan had a conference call yesterday. Here's his explanation for what's going on with McCaffrey.
Definitely. I believe if it was a playoff game, he would have played. But when it's not just the calf, it's the Achilles, and the Achilles is tendonitis, and that stuff comes and goes. And when it is acting up, something you got to be very careful about. Christian's very diligent about that stuff, and if it was a playoff game, he made it very clear to me he believed he could go. But when you hear that type of stuff, and it's not a playoff game, and it's week one, and especially when you're dealing with the lower extremities like that, it was a tough decision. But hearing all the words and stuff, in the long run, it made it easy.
Ian Rappaport was a guest on Good Morning Football this morning. He described McCaffrey's chances of playing against the Vikings as a, quote, long shot. We'll see if that changes throughout the week. Jordan Mason obviously was excellent, but we have to see if his body can hold up to the rigors of playing running back. Remember, he said to Christian McCaffrey after the game, I don't know how you do this. We saw Elijah Mitchell perform when he was on the field, but his body could not take the pounding. We don't know if Jordan Mason's can do the same. We'll have to find out. As for the rest of the injuries this week, Kyle also updated those yesterday. We know about the Achilles tendonitis. Juwan Jennings has an ankle. He's day-to-day. Aaron Banks is also day-to-day with that calf contusion. Those were the two injuries coming out of the game. Talanoa Hufanga has a chance to play this week. We'll have to see how practice goes. Yetur Gross-Matos and D. Winters have a chance to practice this week. So a little bit less optimistic for those two. Now, let's get to the rest of the conference call with Kyle Shanahan. One of the most exciting things on Monday was the play of Dominick Puni, who looked absolutely fantastic, at least to us as fans watching the game. Kyle Shanahan, how did Dominick Puni look to you?
I thought it was a real good first game for him. By no means was it perfect, but it's how he's been every day since he's been here so far. So, I've talked about him a bunch here. He's been this way in practice. He's been this way in preseason, and it looked the same in week one. So, seems pretty consistent, pretty real about the guy, and that was his first game. He's got to recover here in 6 days, and we'll be playing on the road next week where it'll be much louder and stuff, so there'll be some new challenges, but hopefully he just continues to play the way he is, and if you keep doing that, he'll also get better with more experience.
Jordan Mason ran for 94 yards before contact on Monday night. That's more than 60% of his yardage. So Puni and the rest of that offensive line were absolutely balling. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Wednesday. Matt Barrows is back with his Minutia Minute column. It's one of the best things every week that gets written about the 49ers. There's a ton of nuggets in there about snap counts and playing time and who's lined up where. If you want just that little bit of extra information about the Niners matchup the week before, I highly recommend you click the link in the description of this episode. One thing to watch, the 49ers media schedule for the week. Kyle Shanahan will speak today. Tomorrow will be absolutely loaded. Brock Purdy, Nick Sorensen, and Chris Forrester all hit the mic. And then Shanahan will speak again on Friday before the matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. One thing you may have missed, Danny Gray is going to be wearing green. He signs with the Philadelphia Eagles. He joins a very prestigious list of former 49ers third-round picks that have wound up in Philadelphia, Ty Davis-Price and Trey Sermon among them. Sorry, Danny Gray, that it didn't work out in San Francisco. Hopefully for you, things turn out better in Philadelphia. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Click the bell to get notified every single time we go live, which is every single weekday for you, as well as after every single 49ers game. Enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.